Imagine waking up every morning with more energy, clearer thinking, lighter digestion, and a quiet confidence that your body is working with you, not against you. Today I want to talk to you heart to heart about something most people overlook, especially as we get older: your liver. And more importantly, 5 everyday things that are silently destroying your liver even if you never touch alcohol. This message is especially for those who believe they're doing mostly okay, but still feel tired, inflamed, sluggish, or just not like themselves anymore. Your liver is one of the most hardworking organs in your body. It filters toxins, balances hormones, manages blood sugar, supports digestion, and even affects your mood and brain health. When your liver struggles, your whole body feels it. The scary part is that liver damage often happens quietly, without pain until it's advanced. But the beautiful truth is this: the liver can heal when you give it the right environment. The first thing destroying your liver is excess sugar, especially hidden sugar. Not just sweets, but bread, white rice, packaged snacks, sauces, and sweetened drinks. Too much sugar overloads the liver and gets converted into fat, leading to fatty liver disease. Over time, this causes inflammation and scarring. The solution isn't extreme dieting, it's awareness. Choose whole foods. Eat more vegetables, lentils, beans, nuts, seeds, and fruits in moderation. Swap refined carbs for whole grains. Drink water instead of sugary drinks. Every small change tells your liver, I've got your back. The second silent destroyer is ultra-processed foods. These foods are filled with chemicals, preservatives, unhealthy oils, and artificial flavors that your liver must filter every single day. Think instant meals, packaged snacks, fast food, and processed meats. Over years, this constant toxic load exhausts the liver. Healing starts with simplicity. Cook at home when you can. Use olive oil instead of refined oils. Eat foods that look close to how they came from nature. Your liver recognizes real food, and it responds with strength. The third issue is chronic stress. This one surprises many people. Stress floods your body with cortisol and adrenaline, forcing your liver to work overtime, regulating blood sugar and inflammation. When stress becomes a lifestyle, liver function declines. You don't need a perfect life to reduce stress. You need moments of calm. Slow breathing, gentle walks, prayer, meditation, gratitude, and laughter all send powerful healing signals to your liver. Stress management is not optional health advice. It is medicine. The fourth liver destroyer is a sedentary lifestyle. Sitting too much slows circulation, increases insulin resistance, and promotes fat buildup in the liver. The good news is you don't need intense workouts. Light daily movement is incredibly powerful, especially for older adults. Walking for 20 to 30 minutes, gentle stretching, chair exercises, tai chi, or light strength training improves liver blood flow and reduces fat accumulation. Movement tells your body it's alive, capable, and still growing stronger. The fifth and most overlooked factor is poor sleep. Your liver does most of its repair work while you sleep, especially between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. Late nights, irregular sleep, and screen exposure disrupt this healing cycle. Prioritize rest. Create a calm bedtime routine. Dim the lights. Turn off screens early. Sleep is not laziness. Sleep is deep internal healing. Now let me shift your focus to something just as important as food and exercise: your mindset. The body listens to the mind. If you believe you're too old, or that damage is permanent, your nervous system stays in a state of defeat. But if you believe healing is possible, your body responds differently. I've seen it time and time again. Older adults who adopt a hopeful, consistent mindset experience real physical improvements. Speak kindly to your body. Thank your liver for everything it's done for you so far. Healing begins with respect. Let's talk briefly about supportive foods that love your liver. Leafy greens help neutralize toxins. Beets support blood purification. Garlic activates liver enzymes. Turmeric reduces inflammation. Green tea provides antioxidants. Lemon water in the morning gently stimulates liver function. You don't need all of these at once. Choose one or two and build habits slowly. Consistency beats perfection every time. Lifestyle habits matter more than quick fixes. Avoid unnecessary medications and supplements unless prescribed. Stay hydrated. Maintain a healthy weight gradually, not through crash diets. Spend time in sunlight. Connect with people you love. Joy is not separate from health. Joy is health. If you're watching this and thinking, I've already done damage, I want you to hear this clearly. Your body is not your enemy. Your liver is resilient. With the right support, it can regenerate and function better at any age. I've seen people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond reverse fatty liver markers, improve energy, and regain vitality simply by changing daily habits. This isn't about fear. It's about empowerment. Every meal is a message. Every walk is a signal. Every calm breath is a healing instruction. You don't need to change everything today. Start with one choice. One healthier meal, one short walk, one earlier bedtime, one positive thought. Many people believe that as long as they avoid alcohol, their liver is safe, protected, and functioning well. But this belief quietly misleads millions, especially older adults who try to live responsibly yet still feel unexplained fatigue, heaviness, brain fog, or inflammation in the body. The truth is that alcohol is only one of many possible threats to liver health, and for a large number of people, liver damage develops without a single drop of alcohol ever being consumed. The liver is constantly working behind the scenes, filtering toxins from food, medications, environmental chemicals, and even stress hormones, and when these burdens add up day after day, the liver becomes overwhelmed without making a sound. This is why liver problems are often called silent conditions, because pain usually does not appear until damage has progressed much further. Many older adults assume that tiredness, weight gain around the belly, digestive discomfort, or low energy are simply part of aging, when in reality these can be early signs that the liver is under strain. Modern lifestyles expose the liver to far more challenges than in previous generations, from processed foods and sugar to pollution, plastics, and constant stress, all of which demand detoxification. Over time, the liver adapts by storing fat, slowing down its cleansing ability, and increasing inflammation, even in people who never drink alcohol. This can lead to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, a condition that is now extremely common and often goes undiagnosed for years. What makes this especially important is that many people only take liver health seriously when alcohol is involved, ignoring the everyday habits that slowly create damage. This misunderstanding delays awareness and prevents early action, even though the liver is one of the most regenerative organs in the human body when supported properly. Once people understand that liver damage is not limited to alcohol use, a powerful shift happens. Responsibility replaces fear and healing becomes possible. Instead of blaming age, genetics, or bad luck, individuals begin to see how daily choices influence internal health. Awareness becomes the first step toward recovery, because you cannot protect what you do not recognize as vulnerable. This knowledge empowers older adults to stop living in quiet confusion and start making intentional choices that reduce toxic load, support digestion, and restore energy. When people realize that their liver has been working tirelessly for decades without complaint, they begin to respect it, listen to it, and care for it with patience and consistency. Understanding that liver damage can occur without alcohol removes guilt and shame and replaces it with clarity and motivation. It reminds us that health is not about avoiding one harmful substance, but about creating an environment inside the body where healing is allowed to happen naturally and gently over time. Excess sugar and refined carbohydrates may look harmless on the surface, especially because they are so deeply woven into daily meals, traditions, and comfort foods, but inside the body they place a heavy burden on the liver that builds quietly over many years. When sugar enters the bloodstream, the liver is responsible for managing it, converting what the body cannot immediately use into stored energy. When this process happens too often, especially with white bread, white rice, sweets, packaged snacks, and sugary drinks, the liver begins turning excess sugar into fat, and that fat accumulates inside liver cells. Over time, this leads to fatty liver, inflammation, and reduced liver efficiency, even in people who appear slim or believe they eat reasonably well. Many older adults are surprised to learn that they can have fatty liver without being overweight, because the issue is not just calories, but how the liver processes refined carbohydrates. Hidden sugars are especially dangerous, found in sauces, dressings, breakfast cereals, flavored yogurts, and foods marketed as healthy. The liver has no warning system for overload, so it keeps adapting until its function starts to slow. As liver fat increases, blood sugar control worsens, energy drops, digestion becomes sluggish, and inflammation spreads throughout the body. The encouraging part of this message is that sugar-related liver damage is highly responsive to change. When refined carbohydrates are reduced and replaced with whole fiber-rich foods, the liver begins to release stored fat and repair itself. Vegetables, legumes, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and moderate portions of fruit slow sugar absorption and reduce liver stress. Even small changes, like cutting back on sweetened tea or replacing white bread with whole grain options, send powerful signals to the liver that conditions are improving. This is not about eliminating pleasure or following extreme diets, but about restoring balance. Older adults often benefit the most from steady, gentle adjustments rather than drastic restrictions. As sugar intake decreases, people frequently notice clearer thinking, better sleep, reduced belly fat, and more stable energy levels. These improvements reinforce motivation and make healthy choices feel rewarding rather than punishing. Understanding the direct link between sugar, refined carbohydrates, and liver fat empowers individuals to make conscious decisions that protect one of the body's most vital organs. When the liver is no longer overwhelmed by constant sugar spikes, it can return to its natural role of detoxification, hormone regulation, and metabolic balance, allowing the entire body to function with greater ease and resilience over time. Ultra-processed foods have become so common in modern life that many people no longer recognize how deeply they affect internal health, especially the liver, which must process everything that enters the body. These foods are designed for convenience and long shelf life, not for nourishment, and they are often packed with preservatives, artificial flavors, colorings, emulsifiers, refined oils, and chemical additives that the liver is forced to break down every single day. While one packaged snack may seem insignificant, the cumulative effect of years of exposure creates a constant toxic workload that slowly exhausts liver function. The liver does not get overwhelmed all at once. Instead, it adapts by working harder, storing fat, and increasing inflammation as a survival response. Over time, this can impair detoxification, disrupt hormone balance, and weaken metabolic health. Many older adults grew up eating simpler, home-prepared meals, but as convenience foods became more accessible, these products gradually replaced traditional cooking without much thought. The problem is not occasional use, but reliance. When ultra-processed foods dominate the diet, the liver rarely gets a break. Refined vegetable oils commonly used in these products promote oxidative stress and inflammation, adding another layer of strain. Artificial sweeteners and flavor enhancers confuse metabolic signaling, further complicating the liver's regulatory role. What makes this particularly concerning is that these foods are often marketed as healthy or low-fat, creating a false sense of safety while quietly contributing to liver stress. Healing begins when food choices become simpler and more intentional. Foods that resemble their natural form require less chemical processing and are easier for the liver to handle. Home-cooked meals made with vegetables, whole grains, legumes, healthy fats like olive oil, and clean protein sources dramatically reduce the toxic burden. Even cooking a few meals at home each week can significantly lower liver stress. Older adults often find that returning to traditional, simple eating patterns improves digestion, reduces bloating, and restores energy. The liver responds quickly when the chemical load is reduced because it finally has space to perform repair instead of constant defense. Choosing real food is not about perfection or restriction, but about giving the liver an environment where it can function efficiently and calmly. When the liver no longer has to fight against artificial substances day after day, the entire body benefits from improved resilience, clarity, and balance. Allowing health to be supported in a natural and sustainable way over time. Chronic stress is one of the most underestimated threats to liver health because it does not come from food or drink, yet it places a powerful physiological burden on the body that the liver must manage every day. When stress becomes constant, the body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline repeatedly, forcing the liver to regulate blood sugar, inflammation, and hormonal balance far more often than it was designed to do. This ongoing demand keeps the liver in a state of overwork, reducing its ability to detoxify efficiently and increasing internal inflammation. Many older adults live with silent stress from financial worries, family responsibilities, health concerns, loneliness, or unresolved emotional experiences, and because this stress feels normal, its impact is often ignored. Over time, chronic stress disrupts digestion, weakens immunity, and contributes to insulin resistance, all of which place additional pressure on liver function. The body does not separate emotional stress from physical health. It responds to both in the same biochemical way. This means that a stressed mind creates a stressed liver. Healing begins not by eliminating stress entirely, which is unrealistic, but by changing how the body responds to it. Simple calming practices such as slow breathing, gentle stretching, prayer, meditation, and time in nature lower stress hormone levels and give the liver relief. Even a few minutes of intentional relaxation can shift the nervous system out of survival mode and into repair mode. Laughter and meaningful social connection also reduce stress chemistry in powerful ways. Many people underestimate the healing value of calm moments because they seem too simple to matter. Yet these moments directly influence liver health. Older adults often notice improved digestion, better sleep, and more stable energy when stress is managed consistently. Emotional awareness also plays a role because unexpressed feelings keep the body tense and inflamed. Learning to let go, forgive, and accept creates internal spaciousness that supports organ function. When stress is reduced, the liver no longer has to prioritize emergency responses and can return to its natural rhythm of cleansing and regeneration. Supporting mental and emotional balance is not separate from physical healing, but an essential part of restoring liver strength and resilience as the body ages. A sedentary lifestyle quietly undermines liver health, especially as people grow older and daily movement naturally decreases, even though the body is still designed to move regularly to maintain internal balance. When the body remains inactive for long periods, circulation slows, insulin sensitivity declines, and fat metabolism becomes less efficient, all of which directly affect the liver. The liver plays a central role in regulating blood sugar and fat processing, and without regular movement, excess fat is more likely to accumulate inside liver cells, increasing inflammation and reducing function. Many older adults believe that exercise must be intense or exhausting to be effective, which discourages them from moving at all. But the liver responds positively to gentle, consistent activity. Walking, light stretching, chair exercises, Tai Chi, or slow strength movements stimulate blood flow and improve how the liver processes glucose and fats. Movement acts like a signal to the liver that the body is active and metabolically engaged, encouraging it to release stored fat and function more efficiently. Sitting for long hours sends the opposite message, promoting stagnation and fat storage. The modern lifestyle makes prolonged sitting common, whether watching television, using phones, or resting due to discomfort, but even short activity breaks can make a meaningful difference. Standing up, walking for a few minutes, or gently stretching several times a day improves circulation and reduces liver stress. Physical movement also helps regulate hormones and reduce inflammation, both of which protect liver tissue over time. Older adults often notice that regular light exercise improves digestion, reduces bloating, stabilizes energy levels, and enhances mood, all signs of improved liver support. Exercise does not need to be perfect or structured. It simply needs to be consistent. When movement becomes part of daily life rather than a chore, the liver receives continuous support. The body adapts quickly to regular activity, becoming more efficient at using energy and reducing fat accumulation. By choosing movement that feels enjoyable and sustainable, individuals create a positive cycle where increased energy leads to more activity and better liver function. Supporting the liver through movement is not about pushing limits, but about honoring the body's need for motion to maintain balance, strength, and metabolic health as the years progress. A poor sleep has a profound and often overlooked impact on liver health, because sleep is the time when the body shifts from daytime survival mode into deep repair and regeneration. During the night, especially in the earlier hours of sleep, the liver performs many of its most important detoxification and metabolic repair processes, clearing waste products, regulating hormones, and balancing blood sugar. When sleep is shortened, irregular, or disrupted, these essential processes are interrupted, forcing the liver to function under unfinished repair conditions the next day. Many older adults struggle with sleep due to stress, late-night screen exposure, inconsistent schedules, or physical discomfort, and over time this creates a cycle where fatigue worsens liver function and poor liver function further disrupts sleep. Late nights are particularly challenging because the liver's natural repair rhythm follows the body's circadian clock, and staying awake past this window reduces the effectiveness of nighttime healing. Artificial light and screens suppress melatonin, the hormone that signals rest and supports cellular repair, placing additional strain on liver recovery. When sleep quality declines, inflammation increases, insulin sensitivity drops, and fat metabolism slows, all of which contribute to fatty liver changes. The encouraging reality is that improving sleep habits can rapidly support liver health. Creating a calming evening routine signals the nervous system to slow down and prepares the body for repair. Dimming lights, avoiding heavy meals late at night, reducing screen use, and maintaining a consistent bedtime help restore the body's internal clock. Gentle breathing or relaxation practices before bed calm stress hormones that interfere with sleep depth. Older adults often notice that better sleep improves digestion, reduces cravings, and stabilizes mood, all signs that the liver is functioning more efficiently. Sleep should never be seen as wasted time or weakness because it is active healing at the cellular level. When the body receives sufficient rest, the liver no longer has to compensate for exhaustion and can perform its cleansing and balancing roles more effectively. Prioritizing sleep is one of the simplest and most powerful ways to support liver regeneration and overall vitality as the body continues to age. A positive mindset plays a powerful role in physical healing because the body constantly responds to thoughts, beliefs, and emotional patterns even when we are not consciously aware of it. When individuals believe that their body is broken, aging is a decline, or healing is no longer possible, the nervous system remains in a state of tension and resignation that directly affects organ function, including the liver. Chronic negative thinking increases stress hormones, inflammation, and fatigue. all of which interfere with the liver's ability to detoxify, regenerate, and maintain balance. Many older adults unknowingly carry limiting beliefs shaped by years of hearing that aging means weakness or inevitable disease, and these beliefs quietly influence daily choices and biological responses. The mind and body are deeply connected, and the liver responds to emotional signals just as it responds to nutritional and physical inputs. When a person adopts a hopeful, compassionate, and patient mindset, the nervous system shifts into a calmer state that supports repair and regeneration. This state allows the liver to function more efficiently and reduces the inflammatory burden created by chronic stress and fear. Speaking kindly to the body, practicing gratitude, and acknowledging small improvements send powerful signals of safety and trust to the brain, which then communicates these signals to internal organs. Visualization, prayer, and reflection help reinforce the belief that healing is possible even later in life. Older adults who maintain a positive outlook often experience better energy, improved digestion, and stronger motivation to care for themselves, creating a reinforcing cycle of health. A positive mindset does not mean denying challenges or pretending everything is perfect, but rather choosing a perspective that encourages progress instead of hopelessness. Emotional resilience helps individuals remain consistent with healthy habits, even when results are gradual. When setbacks occur, a constructive mindset prevents discouragement from turning into abandonment of self-care. Over time, this mental approach reduces internal stress and supports long-term liver health. Belief alone is not a cure, but belief shapes behavior, consistency, and biological response. When the mind works with the body instead of against it, the liver receives an internal environment that favors balance, healing, and sustained vitality as life continues to unfold. Small, consistent lifestyle changes have a far greater impact on liver health than dramatic short-term efforts, especially for older adults who need sustainability more than extremes. Many people delay taking action because they believe healing requires a complete overhaul of their life, strict diets, or intense exercise, but the liver responds best to gentle, repeated signals of support over time. Every simple choice, when repeated daily, reduces the toxic burden placed on the liver and creates an internal environment where repair can naturally occur. Drinking more water, choosing one whole food over a processed option, walking a little each day, or going to bed slightly earlier may seem insignificant in isolation, yet these actions compound in powerful ways. The liver is constantly adapting to the messages it receives, and consistent healthy habits tell it that conditions are safe enough to shift from survival mode into healing mode. Older adults often underestimate how responsive their bodies still are, assuming that years of wear cannot be reversed, but the liver remains remarkably resilient throughout life. Research and real-world experience show that even modest improvements in diet, movement, sleep, and stress management can reduce liver fat, improve blood markers, and restore energy. Consistency builds trust between the individual and their body, replacing frustration with confidence. Gradual changes are also easier to maintain, reducing the risk of burnout or disappointment that comes with unrealistic expectations. Lifestyle healing is not about chasing perfection, but about creating routines that support the body day after day. When habits are simple and enjoyable, they become part of daily life rather than temporary solutions. This approach also supports mental and emotional well-being because progress feels achievable and empowering. Over time, these small changes influence weight balance, blood sugar control, inflammation levels, and digestion, all of which directly support liver function. The liver does not require sudden dramatic interventions to heal, it requires relief from constant overload. Each positive habit removes a small amount of stress from the liver, allowing it to redirect energy toward regeneration. Older adults who focus on consistency often notice improvements not only in lab results but also in how they feel, with better sleep, clearer thinking, and steadier energy. This reinforces motivation and strengthens commitment to self-care. Healing becomes a natural process rather than a struggle. By respecting the pace of the body and honoring progress instead of rushing results, individuals create lasting change that supports liver health and overall vitality for years to come. Your liver has been protecting you quietly for decades. Now it's your turn to protect it. Treat your body like it matters, because it does. And remember, it's never too late to feel better than you do right now.